When I was a young lad, my father was often away on business. I spent a lot of time wondering where he was, wondering if the work he was doing was important or respected. And when I was around 10, I got my answer when I joined him on a work trip and we were picked up in a Rolls Royce Silver Wraith. I can still remember the smell of the leather interior, the feeling I had when the chauffeur tipped his hat to us with dignity and respect. And from that moment on, I knew I would work as hard as I could to have a lifestyle that could match that energy. Since that very day, I've followed Rolls Royce, which is precisely why I was so thrilled when they unveiled the 2021 Ghost and 2021 Ghost Extended. As I'm sure you can guess, today we're going to take a deep look at the Ghost and the Ghost Extended. We'll talk about what's changed, what's been introduced, and exactly why this new vehicle is going to change the way Rolls-Royce makes their cars forever. The Rolls Royce Ghost has a history almost as long as Rolls-Royce itself. Just imagine yourself back in 1906. Car shows didn't exist because, well, television didn't exist yet. NASCAR still didn't exist yet either because, honestly, 60-mile-per-hour races don't really get the juices pumping. And yet, people were still crazy about cars, which had only truly been invented about 20 years earlier. Rolls-Royce created a model known as the 40/50 HP. The 12th car of this line was painted silver and given the affectionate name the Silver Ghost, which was meant to market the car's ghost-like quietness. A plaque with this name was slapped on the front of the car, and the papers began to run with the name. Overall, 7,874 Silver Ghosts were made between 1907 and 1926. It wasn't until 2009 that the name would re-emerge, bigger and better. However, it's the most recent 2021 model that seems to have managed to encapsulate everything the Ghost is meant to be. For starters, let's talk about the specs. The 2021 Ghost has a V12 engine, and though the engine is nearly the same as its predecessor, this one is distinctly different. The previous generation has a 6.5-liter V12 engine, while the newest version boasts a 6.75-liter engine. This bad boy generates 563 horsepower and 850 Newton-meters of torque. And for those who aren't as much into the specs, just know that this means this car can chug along at a pretty good pace, shooting from 0 to 60 in just 4.6 miles an hour. And though what's under the hood hasn't changed much, in terms of the engine at least, there are fine-tuned changes and details found throughout the body of the car that truly demonstrate what Rolls-Royce is all about. Rolls-Royce doesn't pump out a new generation very often. In fact, the Phantom 7 was on the road for 14 years before the Phantom 8 was launched. Before this new Ghost, it had been 10 years since any major changes had been made. And that, my dear viewers, is because Rolls-Royce takes their time crafting their cars, and the auto world is much better for it. They take the time to listen to customer complaints and incorporate them into the newest car, even if it's something simple like wanting more than one temperature to cool your champagne at. I mean, that may sound like a pretty boring request for some, but for others, it's entirely crucial. Rolls-Royce knows that luxury is found in the details, and if that means hiring a master sommelier to pick two perfect temperatures for chilled and ultra-chilled beverages in the champagne fridge, then so be it. And for those wondering, apparently it's 6 degrees for non-vintage champagne and 11 degrees for your vintage bottles. Details like that can be found all throughout this model, and it begins with the brand new Aluminium Architecture. The Aluminium Architecture is based on the architecture of luxury, the space frame architecture that Rolls-Royce engineers first introduced in the Phantom. The super light frame means that weight that was previously taken by the frame can now be utilized elsewhere. Another huge change in the Ghost is the introduction of all-wheel drive. That's right, no more only driving your beautiful luxury car through the city streets. Now you can journey along snowy mountain roads to ski resorts or faraway lookouts in the desert to look at the stars as you clink your Rolls-Royce champagne flutes. In addition to the all-wheel drive, the new model also boasts all-wheel steer, which means you might be able to make those tight turns now without clipping the curb. The all-wheel steer really contributes to the smooth ride, but it's not the only factor at play here. The car has a planar suspension system, which isolates wheel vibration and makes your journey smooth sailing. That same suspension system is also a key component in how quiet the Ghost is, really harkening back to the reason the car got its original name. The tires themselves are lined with acoustic foam that irons out vibrations. Inside the body of the car, there is a double glazing for sound insulation, making this one of the most quiet cars ever made. Rolls-Royce even took it a step further by acoustically engineering the drive shaft to be quieter. Like I said earlier, it is down to the little details, and the ability to have a nearly soundproof driving experience is something that is worth all those little tweaks. The Ghost is meant to be an isolated pod for their owner and their guests, a place where you can close the one-touch doors and be instantly wrapped in luxury. And if you're looking for sound rather than silence, the Ghost has an 18-speaker bespoke audio system that has been engineered to produce the best sound possible. The chassis of the car has been hollowed out specifically to fit the subwoofer and produce better bass in your music. When I said they thought of everything, I meant it. And you'll have no doubt at that when you look at the dashboard. The illuminated fascia is a field of 850 three-dimensional stars that shine bright when the car is in motion and fade to a field of black when the car is at rest. The screen can be completely customized with images, colors, and words of your choosing, allowing your creativity to run wild. On the dashboard, you may also notice the beautiful T-shaped open-pore veneer with multiple color options. The wood allows the interior of the car to be evergreen, both timeless and modern. Overhead, the star field continues in the Starlight headliner. The Starlight headline is further emphasized by shooting stars, creating a magical experience unlike any other. The open-pore veneer continues into the back, where two entertainment trays boast the design. Built-in entertainment screens ensure that everyone in the car has access to whatever they need, and the built-in Wi-Fi hotspot allows colleagues to get work done when playtime is finally over. It seems like I may have gotten a little carried away talking about the interior here. It may be time to take a closer look at the outside of the car, where a few more updates have been made. For starters, we've got to talk about the new grille. During the day, it looks like an old standard Rolls-Royce grille, but at night, it sets the new standard. The grille is backlit with stunning lights that give the vehicle an astounding appearance. When initially creating the lit grille, it was much too bright with the lights, but the makers of this car aren't ones to give up once they've fallen for an idea. They worked on the grille and coated one side of each bar with a matte finish, reducing the reflection and giving the Ghost this stunning, haunting glow. On either side of the grille, the laser headlights retain a familiar shape and have an impressive visual range of up to 600 meters. The panels on the car were created with an intention to look utterly seamless, and I'd say they certainly achieved that. The upper panel on the roof was hand-welded by 4 workers working in a tandem with one another, and the end result is, well, extraordinary. The 2021 Ghost starts at $332,500, which is a lot, but for a car this nice, I might just have to shell it out. And though I could go on and on about the Ghost, this wasn't the only model Rolls-Royce unveiled this year. Just take a look at the Ghost Extended. Don't you want it as much as I do? The Ghost Extended has a 6-inch longer wheelbase than the regular Ghost and is 7 inches longer overall. But why exactly would you want a larger car when, let's face it, the Ghost isn't exactly compact? Well, because as the CEO of Rolls-Royce puts it, the Ghost Extended is for someone who wants to be driven around during the week, but drive themselves on the weekends. And honestly, I've never felt so heard in my life. The goal of making the car longer did not sacrifice the harmonious look of the car. The back door was extended to keep the balance within the original design, and I'd say it does just that. Now, the back seat is where this beautiful car really shines. 2 separate Serenity seats are offered with the Ghost Extended, which turns the back seat of the car into a luxurious first-class cabin. The seats are heated with massage functions, of course, and they lean fully back to a sleeping position, allowing for the most comfortable ride on the open road. The Ghost Extended's price hasn't been released just yet, but many estimate it will start at around $350,000. Both the Ghost and the Ghost Extended offer your typical luxury tech: wireless charging, 4 USB-C ports, Apple CarPlay, camera assist backup, road recognition, camera-assisted pedestrian recognition, and parking assist that ensures you'll never have to pull into a parking space by yourself again. Well, there you have it, the new Rolls-Royce Ghost and the Ghost Extended. What do you think? Are they worth the money? And do you think Mr. Luxury should go out and order a couple of them? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Oh, and maybe turn on post notifications as well. As always, I'm Mr. Luxury. Pip pip, a doodly-doo.